Plex by Gorilla. But the main compound being, of course, ecdysterone, which is, of course, making waves in the industry for quite some time now. And there's a lot of claims, a lot of hypotheses in terms of what are the actual impacts of taking ecdysterone. Now, what is ecdysterone? It's naturally occurring steroid hormone claimed to induce and enhance physical performance. Now, do you need it? The fundamental question is, do you need a supplement like this? You do not. So before we even get into the review, if you are someone who is new to training, new to calisthenics, bodybuilding, what have you, you absolutely do not need ecdysterone. It is something that, of course, individuals like myself, and I'm sure a lot of you folks who are always trying to increase the gains, you guys know what I'm talking about, or of course, increase muscular hypertrophy. And that's why we look to supplements like this, because I think this small category of folks that will not take PEDs, but right at the cusp of PEDs, the things which are natural and of course have minimal side effects, and of course those side effects being minimal is acknowledged by the scientific literature, and there is evidence showing that there is no kidney, liver toxicity. Now, getting right into dosage. So what do I take? I typically take, I would say, 1,500, so 1,500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams spread across the day. And that's primarily because of my size. I am, of course, 220 pounds, 6'4". So there's quite a bit more muscle mass where you would want to increase intracellular concentrations of ecdysterone, thereby, of course, extracting the benefits for the gains. Now, in terms of how I spread out my dosages, I typically will take the first one with breakfast, the second one probably right before I have lunch, third one I'll have lunch and dinner time frame. I'll have a fourth one if I remember, if I really had an extremely strenuous training day and I'm seeking some expedited recovery. Getting into the scientific literature. Now, this is the fundamental question. And before I even talk about ecdysterone specifically, I will put one thing out there very clearly. Terkesterone, sapogenics, all these other compounds that are sold, I have not seen a single shred of evidence in the scientific literature stating and of course confirming the efficacy of those products. So you have terkesterone, you have, I believe sapogenics is some sort of laxagenin compound. Again, these are all plant derived and they have been heavily marketing them, and of course they're making quite a bit of money off of selling these compounds that purportedly increase muscle mass, muscular hypertrophy, and whatnot. I have yet to find one study that shows or at least validates those the claims that they're putting out. Now, in terms of which brand to buy, this is of course Gorilla, so Derek's Ecdy Plex, which is essentially just 500 milligrams of ecdysterone with a patented, I don't think it's patented, but at least a very differentiated approach in terms of the hydroxypropyl beta cyclodextrin complex, which ostensibly allows it to be more easily absorbed in your body and is superior to just a regular capsule, which can impede the absorption of the ecdysterone. Now, Huge Supplements makes one. There is quite a few companies that make one. You guys know me, not sponsored. You don't even see discount codes in my bio because these reviews are all done on my own regard and, of course, in the benefit of educating and telling you my experiences. So when it comes to all the brands, Gorilla is the most efficacious brand. And I'm not saying that because they made all these claims on their website. stating that, of course, it is the more bioavailable form. And why is it the most bioavailable? It's because of this compound called hydroxypropyl beta cyclodextrin, which acts as a shell to increase water solubility and support enhanced bioavailability. And what they claim is it's shown over 100 times enhanced solubility of ecdysterone when complexed with cyclodextrins. I'm sure there's some scientific validity to that comment, but I'll just tell you based off experience. I've tried huge supplements. I have tried one other brand, which was a pretty obscure brand. Can't recall the name. And in terms of what I had experienced in the gym, I strictly take these supplements not to get the gains. I'm a father of 3 children. I'm married, been married for over 10 years. It's not about the muscle gains for me. It's all down to the calisthenic progressions. Being 6'4" significantly impedes my progress to do a front lever, back lever like someone who is shorter in stature would be able to accomplish, let's say, within 6 months to a year. As a tall individual, it takes quite some more time to, let's say, master the front lever, master the back lever without any assistance, do a muscle up without any assistance, simply because your arm span, of course, doing pull-ups requires a lot more elevation. And of course, since your muscles are elongated, being a taller individual, it takes a long time. And just to put that in perspective, I've been doing calisthenics for almost 3 years now, and I still have yet to get to the pinnacle of calisthenics where I can do a lot of these movements that shorter guys can do very, very quickly. So that's the intent in terms of why I like to try out different supplements like this, because I really want to see if it can accelerate or expedite my calisthenic progressions. Now, getting into the scientific literature, of course, if I purchase a product, which is not cheap, you can rest assured that I have done the research and I have felt some sort of marginal benefit as to why I'm spending my own hard-earned money on these supplements. So the most notorious study on ecdysterone was labeled ecdysteroids as non-conventional anabolic agent. This was done in 2019. And this was, of course, performance enhancement evaluation in humans via ecdysterone supplementation. And in this study, they found that the increases in muscle mass were found in the participants that were dosed with ecdysterone. They were found to be significantly higher. The same hypertrophic effects were also detected. So there were significantly more pronounced increases in 1 repetition bench press performance. And there was, of course, no increase in biomarkers for liver or kidney toxicity. So all in all, this study very clearly delineates that the inclusion of ecdysterone into your supplementation routine is clearly comparable to that where they're actually proposing that it should be included in the list of prohibited substances and methods in class S1.2. So the fact that they're recommending that just because of the mere output that was found in the study from ecdysterone supplementation should speak volumes about what the, of course, potential benefits are from a muscular hypertrophy standpoint. In terms of my experience, of course, I've been working on a muscle up for quite some time. I still do it assisted, but I'm almost at the cusp of being able to do an unassisted muscle up. My sprained ankle that I got last week running that brand new pre-workout kill switch was not that great for my progression. But I think in the past 2 years, I have really increased the overall improvement across front lever, back lever, muscle up, these types of calisthenics movements. Full planche will take me a long time being 6'4", but in terms of the first 2 progressions to do a full planche, they're coming along. So what did I notice? Well, I've been taking Ecdy Plex Ecdysterone for about 3 weeks now. And in terms of the dips, the tricep dips that you do, that movement at the top of a muscle up, of course, probably within 2 weeks of supplementing with ecdysterone, I was able to do it full range of motion, unassisted, for at least 4 to 5 reps. Before I started, I still needed a band in terms of assistance, and unassisted I could do with limited range of motion 3 to 4 reps. Now I can do full range of motion 3 to 4 reps after 2 weeks of supplementation from ecdysterone. So trying to quantify exactly what I noticed, I'm not going to sit here and, of course, measure the girth of my bicep, because that's not the intent of my working out, and of course why I go to the gym and whatnot. It's more so about, I'll tell you and I'll quantify it by saying, what did I see? Full planche wise, core body strength, holding a full planche for over 20 seconds, significantly improved. Initially, before I started my supplementation, I was able to hold it in not great form for about maybe 10 seconds. Now it's 15 to 20 seconds. So those are the two key metrics that come to mind when I think about what benefits I noticed from supplementing with ecdysterone. In terms of what you can expect, of course, if you're doing bodybuilding style training, weight training, it's going to be significantly more, beneficial, and it's going to be much more measurable in terms of the benefits that you will receive. So all in all, I think this is the best brand to get, Gorilla's Ecdy Plex Ecdysterone. Not sponsored, and I've been critical of other Gorilla products, but this one, I think Derek has done a phenomenal job in terms of the formulation, the additional research in terms of finding out that hydroxypropyl beta cyclodextrin is very synergistic with ecdysterone, and in terms of bioavailability, it clearly is translating to the gains that I see from a calisthenics standpoint. So if you're one of those individuals who are always trying to test your body limits to see how quickly you can put on muscle mass, or how quickly you can, of course, increase strength, this is a supplement, provides benefits. And that's it for me, guys, in terms of this review. I hope you found that helpful. Check out Ecdysterone. I'll link it down below in the description. And if you have any questions, as always, shoot me a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment.